everybody, today I'm bringing you my fourth and final look to the perfect grade Banshee Norn. Now, in the previous three parts we have covered quite a bit already, including the Unicorn mode and the Destroy mode, which currently are the two best modes that I appreciate a lot, but as promised, let's transform this guy into his third and final form, the Unchained mode. Let's see what does this Unchained mode meet up to my expectations of it being a very wild and loose looking mode, and also as a final conclusion to this review itself.
Right now, for the head here, as you can see, I've already taken the head off. Now, at the top here, you can actually see this very little thin strip running down the side here due to the reflection. Now, what I'm going to do is, at the end of the head, the strip, there is actually this little peg at the side here. You can see it's right in that. Alright, so now what I'm doing is taking that peg, just use a tweezer or toothpick, push down the peg, which will most likely open up a small little gap here. Then, using that little gap, just stick your tweezer in and push it all the way up to reveal a cycle frame fin underneath, like this. Now for the chest here, you might want to actually firstly take off the gold colored collar here and try pushing down the cockpit, as this section might be a bit of a pain in the ass to do. Now what I'm going to do is, there is actually two small little flaps on each side here. What I mean is, taking that flap, you want to wiggle the flap out until you get until it comes up like this. But do be careful though, that these flaps are very stiff and are very hard to pull out. On the backpack here is quite a simple one. Firstly, what I'm going to do is, taking these two side verniers, you want to push them further outwards until you hear a click. Same for the other side. Then for the lower section here, what I want to do is, there is a separate piece here, and all you do is just pull this piece down and just slide the two verniers out while pulling. Now for the shoulder, I won't really show the proper transformation. It is quite a tough transformation to do and does take a while, but basically all you do is, while you pull the two top panels outwards like this, you are meant to actually pull these bottom panels downwards so as to simultaneously transform both. Then once that's done, all you simply do is just pull these two pieces up like this. Now, so for the arm transformation here, what I want to do is, if you can see here, there's actually a small little split line between these two armor, like that. What I want to do is, using that split line, just try pulling the two armor around that area apart. Sorry, but not too much until it goes in this form, like, so you get something like that. Then coming down to the lower one, you want to take these two flaps, flip it open like this, and then finally to end off here, just flip the saber handle down. Now for the waist section here, what I'm going to do is, coming to the front skirts here, all I want to do is firstly flip out the front, then taking a toothpick, you can actually see there's like two cycle frame tabs here. What I'm going to do is, using a tweezer of toothpick, for which I use a tweezer here, there's a small little gap at the back which can actually allow you to push both tabs forward, and if you're done, you should get something like that at the front. Then coming to the back here is a simple one-step transformation. All you simply do is hook your fingers around this rear piece and just pull it down to reveal a small cycle frame at the side and inside here. Now for the leg transformation here, what I do is firstly slide off the top armor here, as you can see, which will actually reveal a bit of cycle frame on the underside. Then secondly, on the side which actually faces the higher edge of the sloping angle on the knee guard and on the lower edge of the thighs here, what I do is, on this edge, push against the top here, which will open up this side for you. Then do the same for underside, although you might actually want to use a thing like a utility knife or pen knife to help you out, as this underside is pretty tricky to get out. There you go. Right, so having done those two, you want to
get your fingers underneath and just pull open the two cycle frame pieces that are underneath each of this armor, like so. Oh, this one's a bit hard to get out. Like that. And right, one last one inside there, which I really need a utility knife to help me out. And having just opened up these two flaps, you just adjust the positioning based on your own liking, and that's one side of the leg done.
For the other side of the leg here, what you want to do is, firstly, you want to do what was down on the other side, which is just pop open the armor, but instead of pulling out, just pull it from the upper side, and then using that, take a small little toothpick or tweezer and pull open the legs like this.
And then we have it, the perfect grade Banshee Norn now in its third and final form, the Unchained mode. Now, I gotta say that this Unchained mode does actually meet my expectations that I mentioned previously in the Destroy mode review, being that the Unchained mode does give the Banshee a more wild and loosened up look. Now, there are quite a few highlights that I actually like to better improve the effects of the Banshee Norn. Firstly, being that the two fins here, which open up to actually expose two layers of cycle frame inside the chest rather than one layer. Now, there are also a few features that I do like about this mode. If I can adjust my camera here, give me a sec. Now, as you can see, there is actually a gold colored inner fin that is actually revealed there due to the opening of the leg armor. Now, there is one good detail there, as most of the gold is usually at the top of the head, but then there is quite a bit of gold that is And so with that wraps up my look at the perfect grade Banshee Norn in its all four parts and also the final one. Now I gotta say that throughout this whole video and also build process, this kit is pretty interesting, being adding the fact that this is also the first ever perfect grade that I've built. Having the unique transformations of things like the shield and also the exit backpack here is pretty impressive enough, but to add on with the very gold plated collar and horn, which was quite well sought after by many fans of the Banshee Norn and Banshee itself in scales like the Master Grade and High Grade, is pretty a good touch to add on for this final scale of the Banshee Norn. Build wise, it is pretty simple, yet does contain the same amount of complexity as a standard perfect grade, although minus the fact that this perfect grade doesn't really contain any piston parts, which is quite unfortunate, but still is a pretty good build. And with that though, it is pretty worth the amount of money that you put in to buy this kit. Not only being that it does come with a lot of functionality and good aesthetics, but it also has all the colorings and detailing that is worth the Banshee name. But with that though, I end off my review. Thank you guys for watching. Happy New Year to all of you, and I'll see you all in my next video.